Carrie, you done goofed it.
In all fairness, I'll
He
throw it
can't
out
even
there.
defend himself at the moment.
Tyler's in charge tonight.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No.
First one to delegate the blame.
Carrie, you're muted, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh, did I mute him? Oh,
That
good
makes
for
sense.
me. Wow.
There we go. Can't
Wow.
defend myself. That was
Tyler's
not any of
dictatorship
my
is
fault.
like right in action here. Welcome everyone. I'm running the show today. Probably not a great idea based on how it's starting. But
It seems on brand.
that's what I said. We can't start on time, even though I was ready, and I'm gonna screw up the intro. Totally on purpose, not at all because I don't know what's happening. That's fine.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
I try. You know, if Carrie would have maybe blended those two videos together like 8 weeks ago when he said he wouldn't have had that problem. But
Yeah.
I was
um,
anticipating
that's
this.
perfect. Just like all the hate you're gonna get in fantasy baseball upon its return.
I'm so excited for baseball
Pretty
season.
I'm having a hard time with the fantasy stuff with us because no one ever actually doles out the punishments. So what's the point of having
I did.
this if
I did.
okay.
What was it? I don't even think I knew what it was.
I had Katie read a speech. On
Oh,
her
that's right.
podcast. Yeah.
I forgot
That's
about
right.
that.
That's fine. But I mean, Adam's a big talker. I mean, it's almost
Well.
baseball season, and you can really mute Ryan O'Callahan.
I think everyone listening tonight should just tag Ryan O'Callahan and harass him on social media until he decides on something.
Yeah.
No,
if you
Adam-
have him,
Adam
tag
has
him and
to
tell him
tag.
to stop being a wuss. Get it
No,
done.
Adam has to do it, doesn't it?
Yeah, Adam should.
Who does
Ryan
Ryan?
still, he still hasn't done his from baseball
Derek.
last year, so we're coming up on the anniversary.
Yeah.
I say as if baseball isn't 72 weeks long, and nobody
Dude,
told
we're
me
doing
that.
fantasy golf.
Yeah, but I'm good
like-
at fantasy golf, so I'm okay with that.
And how's it going for you guys?
I'm in the
So
top
good.
half.
So
half.
good. Every
I'm
week
I'm
I
6-3.
lose, but every week so does Jeremy, so I'm staying out of last.
It's probably the worst app we could have ever done.
Holy
But
fuck, you keep
I'm-
talking about the
I'm
app. It's the
6-3.
same app every goddamn week. Figure it out.
Carrie, I needed you to not swear there because I was really going to harass Ryan about how we don't accept profanity on this podcast.
Ooh.
You
Wrong
ruined that one
podcast.
for me. Wasn't there a time when you did not allow swearing?
There was a
It was
time
like the
where
first 10.
and then we got sound clips of Mitch Davies saying "Let's go" and stuff like that, and we used that to cover up the bleeps. it was fantastic.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, that was like so many years
Back in
ago
the
now.
day.
I know Carrie's perfect. I think he's 9-0.
Mhm.
But there's a bunch of 1-9s, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
1 and 9s. There's one and 9.
Just Jeremy.
Oh, that's
Jeremy, I
embarrassing.
think,
One
I, think
and
I
eight.
play him this week.
Or 1 and 8, right?
1-8, yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean, there's
Carrie's
still
9-0.
And it ends in September.
I think so. Or is that when the
Sometime
playoffs
in
start?
Jeff, I know what'll make you feel better.
Yes.
Boom. There.
Short and sweet today.
We had
I
to do
saw that Jeff made some really nice soft rolls, or his company did, for average pros out there. Looked really nice. I don't know if they're going to be able to use them next year, but at least they can be put up on the mantle, or at least it was a good sale for them.
You know what? You could still buy like Expo stuff, right? Even those teams that are no longer existing, you can still buy their products, so that's fine.
Yeah. It shows that you can have a ton of
It'd be
talent
retro.
or a ton of money.
Yeah,
a ton of
throwbacks.
money. But if you don't have the talent, you know,
They are beautiful though. They are really nice.
they are very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. When are the Dream
So-
Crushers getting theirs? And what color theme? Would you go with your old jerseys that you don't wear anymore? Or are you going to go with the new ones?
No, actually, we don't. None of us. Only a couple of us only use soft rolls. I think.
They carry through
Only
soft
carry-
rolls.
Gary's the only one, I think, and maybe Gary, depending on whatever day he feels like. Yeah, but that's about it.
Because like your guys' logo is gray and blue, but then your jerseys are black and red.
Yeah, it's killer.
Well, I'd get black and red all day.
In all
I just feel like
fairness-
you have an issue sticking to the brand. You can't pick colors. You can't defend your championship. Like I just
No,
don't really know what's going on with this
You
team.
can't win a championship.
We don't
No.
need to.
Jerseys.
We don't
Yeah, you
need
do.
to.
You don't
You're-
sell product. No one's
No, we
going out
don't.
and buying. No one's
We
going.
don't.
Oh, let's get a Dream Crushers hat, or sorry, a Next Gen hat. No one's doing that.
I
You've
have
been sitting
heard
on product for years.
Rumors. I've heard rumors of some youth players in Newfoundland being quite fascinated by the one next gen hat that made its way out there. Actually, two now.
Mhm.
So we're
But
just
what-
waiting for the market. We're, seeking our demographic, finding the right target audience.
Yeah,
We're
you
playing
are-
the long game.
You're the
Tyler,
only one that has a actual set demographic.
Children.
Like literally, you're the only team. The Next Gen. The whole point of your team
No.
is to be the demographic of the young people.
Perfect.
right, and in all
Figure it
fairness,
out.
we do have a demographic. Everybody hates us, and that's okay.
That's true.
Yeah, you do.
That's true.
That's why I
perfectly okay.
post super trendy, cool reels that my wonderful editing skills make look so awesome. If I remember.
Yeah, we're not about that. If you understand, most of us are pretty old now, except for maybe the two girls, and we're not going to get relegated. First of all, we made the 5PL. We are the 5P University.
That gives you immunity.
we can't get relegated. We make the rules.
There's a special clause that we
There's a
can't be
special clause.
relegated.
And probably the Bombers too. I'm not going to throw that one out there. Probably the Bombers somewhere in there too. But otherwise, everybody else is, I'm interested in what
Jeff will
happens
be
in
in
next
touch.
gen. I'm interested in what happens with.
What do you mean?
Well,
What's
I mean,
happening with next gen?
are you going to play with them next year?
Yeah, it's 3 hours.
3 hours. So I have to make sure that I have every weekend you have one individual match.
I will murder you in your sleep.
Well, I guess you know what. Better be nice to us, eh?
I will give you the code to his house.
I'm gonna
911.
block off.
It's 911.
I'm gonna block off all dates except for just enough so that we always have to play 2 and 3.
That's a Heartland Kingpins thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's
If they can do
Heartland
it, I can do it.
And they still can't get a full team apparently over all those weeks they asked off. But here nor there.
Is there anyone else we can attack at the moment? We just.
Yeah. Is there
Why
someone else
don't
we
we
can
shift
target?
away?
Jeff, you send me your address. I will send you one of my shirts. I can do that.
Yes. Why don't we shift away from attacking people and be nice and welcome our first set of guests? How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic, Ty. Let's do
Be
that.
fair. Let's see if I screw this up. I did not ruin it. I didn't know if I was going to be fast enough. I'm not going to lie. Welcome, the Glens.
Hello,
Can you
Glens.
hear us?
They are
They're
both
both
muted.
muted.
How
I did it.
Did you,
Teacher me should have known better. I'm sorry, Tyler.
Oh man.
Tyler,
Ryan's
is-
gotta
is-
unmute
Ryan has to
himself.
unmute himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't unmute Ryan. So sorry.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Well done.
Shambles.
Well done,
We're
Ty.
doing great.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
doing
you.
great.
How's life
as
out
predicted.
on the rock? Yeah, right. Let's be honest. Yeah, how's life out on the rock? How are you guys doing?
We're getting between 50 and 80 centimeters of snow tomorrow to Saturday, so not good.
really? Again?
Yeah.
Where's my reactions? How do I get?
Yeah.
I turn that off.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
So
Wow.
how long? How does the snow removal work out there? How long are you guys snowed in for?
I mean, it depends. It's not great on side roads. It can be pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys seem to get like a pretty mild winter for the most part. Like the weather, temperature wise, it seems to be okay for a long time, and then you guys just get attacked. You know, like when you get your snowfall, it's a snowfall.
Yeah, it was 7 degrees out today with rain, so
Yeah, exactly.
That's awful. Here in Alberta, we just go from -36 in the morning to 0 by tomorrow afternoon. So that's what
And
we
it's
do.
like the 4th time that's happened this year.
Yeah.
Yep, sure is.
The
It's
trend.
ridiculous.
Everyone has migraines and nosebleeds, and we go to work the next day. There's no snow days out here.
True enough. True enough.
So as most of our viewers / listeners may know, the two of you have recently purchased some bowling alleys. Maybe just fill us in on how that's gone for you guys, and like, has it changed your relationships from brothers to like business co-owners? How has that gone for you guys?
I'm giving him a delay because he's in the basement, so I think he's got a delay on us.
Oh, okay, so yes.
Well, let's start with you then, Brad.
I think it's really funny. Everyone talks about brothers going into business. Tim and Dex, I'm sure you
I
know
do,
what it's
definitely.
like. Yeah, he got a delay. But I think we're not the type of guys to have fallen out. You know, we're always people who are pretty direct with each other. We've always been honest. We've always been able to, you know, have a good shout match one day and kind of forget about it the next day. So we were pretty excited to get into it when the first lanes opened up, and then when the second opportunity came along, it was like, sure, we're too busy. Let's just be a little bit more too busy.
I think most people can relate to that. Ryan. Oh, sorry.
No, don't go right ahead. If Ryan can hear us, that'd be fantastic. But I know he's probably a couple minutes delay going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find that working relationship got easier when you guys had the second bowling alley? Or did you find that like it was
I can
pretty
hear
good right from the
hear
start?
you.
You guys
Yeah, I can hear everything you guys are
can hear
saying.
us.
It's amazing. I'm gonna have fun with this. No, honestly, I think the second one was the growing pains, right? Because when it was one, we both kept our day jobs, and we're both pretty busy guys with our day jobs. But when the second one came, it was so hard to connect that it's definitely taken us a while to figure out, you know, how do we have day jobs, lives, and run two bowling alleys? And you know, we're slowly working the kinks out. Yeah.
I wonder where the feedback's coming from.
It is Ryan on his phone.
Okay, so he's on his phone. He's have to switch it.
Ryan, maybe you can jump out and come back in. That might fix your lag issue.
This is chaos. I love it. He's the serious, sensible ones. This is really great for me.
just Brad's just in his glory.
Oh,
I love
this
it.
is amazing for me right
I
now.
love it. That's
The
totally
other
fair.
fun thing we've done is our dad's working at Paradise Bowl too. So our dad drove a taxi for about 23 years. And when we bought the second bowling alley, he started working out here in the daytime. So that's the other part about it. So we've just taken it over fully.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you got the
Yeah.
whole family involved.
Yeah.
That's great. You're gonna have to like create a daycare in the back so that you can bring the kids in and
The boys are here all the time. They help count
Perfect.
caches. They clean when they come in on Sunday mornings with me. They get rags and squirt bottles, and it's like, let's go, fellas.
I love it. That's a good way to keep the cost down.
You know, shh, but yes.
You wait, they're gonna lose $20 in that VLT real soon for you.
Absolutely. What's this machine?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just working on Ryan's technical difficulties in the back end here.
Oh,
Okay.
looks. There he is.
Oh, we
Bring it
switched
back in.
Oh. Can you hear us
Hey.
better, sir?
I can.
Hey!
The only problem is you guys are probably going to hear all the sounds of the bowling alley now.
We already could.
So Ryan, fill us in kind of your thoughts on like how's it been owning the lanes with Brad and having your dad work there.
Oh, it's been a great experience. I mean, I don't know how much Brad said because I didn't hear most of it, but we've been in bowling together for almost 30 years now. And, you know, we had hinted around this idea at times in the past, but it was never anything we looked into very seriously until about 12 months ago, 13 months ago when Petra approached us about Holiday. and we were over the moon to pick up Holiday, and it was a nice entry into the business for our family, and to turn around and get Paradise going so quickly afterwards, and then to get Dad working for us is just, it's been a whirlwind year, but it's been pretty amazing, I must say.
Awesome.
After all those years of like Bobby O owning all those bowling alleys and like just creating that family dynamic, it's awesome that you guys have kind of picked up those two bowling alleys and then, kind of create and keep that family dynamic that already existed out there. It's awesome. It's great for the game. It's great for the community. Really glad you guys were able to do it.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because one of our regulars here at the Lanes, who's actually bowling on my pro league team now, one of the first things she said to me when we bought it was nice to see it stay in the family. There's definitely a community around here that's very tight with Holiday Lanes and has been for a long while. And, it was a lot of people were happy to see people who had been here for a long while. And, Paradise is a newer center, but it was also part of Bobby's bowling empire. And, we're quite happy to have the two of them, and they're well situated. One's on one end of town and one's on the other, so they don't really compete with each other in a lot of ways. And we have a very different experience at each center, and it's been very cool to kind of adjust to the two different dynamics at the two places as well.
I can tell you personally from the outside, like as Jeff is saying, that half of Newfoundland is watching speaks to your guys' reputation, but even us as outsiders, hearing that you guys were purchasing the centers and moving into that industry, I was elated. I couldn't believe that a bowling family like yourselves to join that is unreal, and I think the sport is better for it.
I think we felt that because we both got reputations as being committed guys. We also got reputations of maybe being tough in rooms at times. We want to say what we want to say, but I think we got a lot of respect for that, and I think that's what's really helped us is that people know we're going to treat our customers fairly. We're obviously going to take care of our leagues. I mean, we all know what's happened to centers across the country in the past decade or so. So whenever you see a non-bowler buy a bowling alley, it's, oh shit, how long is it going to be a bowling alley for? And this isn't a quick turnaround for us. We're both in our early 40s, and this is part of our plan for the next extended period of time in our lives. So that's what excited me about it. Outside of that community deal is it guaranteed something we love to do is going to have people committed to that in the province.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was definitely a big sigh of relief from around the country. I can promise you that.
So both of you are really big advocates for mental health. Is there kind of one or two things that you would like, bowlers, customers, other business owners, is there something that you guys would like want to give to those people as like a piece of advice, either as a competitor or as a business owner?
I'll speak to it on the business side of things, and I guess one thing that we've tried to hammer home to our staff right from the start is that their health and their well-being, both mentally and physically, is priority one. We've already dealt with a few injuries and illnesses since we've taken over, and we're always clear to the staff that the most important thing is that they take the time necessary to recuperate and to get back to 100%, both mentally and physically. And we try to do whatever we can. Over Christmas holidays, we told all our staff that their regular shifts were there if they wanted them, but if they wanted to take some time off, they could, and we'd find a way to fill in the shifts around them. So we really try to prioritize, as business owners, that, it is a business and we want to do what we need to do to be successful, but it's not, it's not priority one. Priority one is making sure that us and the people who work here for us are looked after, and that, hopefully that helps foster a safe and productive environment for everyone involved.
For me, I speak to the bowler side, and again, I was an educator for a decade and a half, and I coached when I first came out of YBC myself. I ran the program down the Holiday in my mid-20s, and I totally stopped coaching. And as I've now been in the bowling alley with youth bowlers come in, I've slowly started dipping my toes back in that, hey, let's talk bowling with the young fellas and the young women kind of thing, and just being able to embed that idea that it's a uniquely intense sport because you do the thing and then wait 5 minutes and then do the thing again. And I think, I think about how Desiree speaks about it with regards to competition, that good sports psychology is good mental health. Right? Because it's about, controlling things and setting yourself up in a way that you're positioned to do it. And for me, I've really enjoyed that. I really plan not to, particularly the coaches out here at Paradise have kind of said, Brad, like, could you talk to people? Could you talk to the kids about bowling? And I don't want to be imposing because I can be a bit much at times. Y'all didn't need to laugh at the one time. Harry holding it in just a little bit. That, I've enjoyed that, having that conversation about things that, unfortunately I didn't learn until my mid-30s of, trying to talk to younger people about those things so that a good tournament doesn't, consume you and that it's everything, and a bad tournament doesn't completely turn you off and make you never want to walk back in the lanes.
Totally.
Yep.
So maybe just as a last point here, sorry, Carrie, did you have something to say? No, I didn't cut you off. Okay. How have things shifted? Like your views of the sport, how has that shifted from being a competitor and a participant to now also being an owner and proprietor? Have you noticed a shift, and like what might that be?
I think for me, if I have seen any shift, it's learning to focus more than I ever have before on kind of your recreational league bowler. I think when you're in the sport as a competitor, it can be easy to lose sight of just how dedicated and just how important those people are. And when you become a business owner, it becomes very, very apparent of how crucial those people are to the success, not just of the business, but as a sport. Keeping a good volume of competitors and bowlers who aren't just at the elite level is essential. And, I've really enjoyed getting to know a lot of those people in a different way that I never really got to know them before. And, fostering those relationships and building, an environment where they feel comfortable to keep coming back and they stay invested in the sport has been a really nice part of taking over the businesses, I must say.
Yeah, and I'll be quick because I know you got other guests, but for me that's the same thing because you notice everything. But like I was at a retired teachers league this morning, and they do a little 2-week mini tournament. And this woman who's a 151 average threw a 4-bagger in this tournament, and like 3 people on her team took their phone out to take a picture of this 4-bagger on the screen. And, first of all, that's just such a great moment. And then second of all, you stop and go, okay, I'm really fortunate enough to have the success at anything in life that I've had. And maybe, at the open next week, I can have a little bit more gratitude than maybe I usually do in the middle of a tournament. So I agree with Ryan. That perspective of the casual league bowler, for me, has, been enlightening just to be like, man, the gratitude that this sport can bring you and its uniqueness is pretty great.
I could tell you wholeheartedly that one of my favorite parts about working in a bowling alley is the Special Olympics, and when one of them throws a strike, the lane is happy. When they throw a double, 2 lanes around them are happy. When they throw a turkey, half the house erupts. If they throw a 4-bagger, the entire place is just going crazy. And you're like, this is what bowling is supposed to be. This is how much fun it's supposed to be, and we do forget it often.
I vow never to do that if an Alberta guy's on a 4-bagger against me at the Open.
I dare you. So I do have a question now that you guys got your feet wet in just about a year of being proprietors out there. Dex and I obviously know what it's like to be running a bowling center. What are a couple things that you absolutely hate and you can't believe you actually have to do that job? Because I'm interested, because there's a few things we hate out here, but what do you guys hate? Like, I can't believe I'm actually stuck doing this in the bowling alley business.
I can answer that one quickly, and it's because of my being a teacher. Birthday parties are a struggle for me. Because sometimes I wish the grown-ups would perhaps handle the children a little more effectively when there's 5-count rocks going down the lane. So working birthday parties can be a little bit frustrating for me. Mr. Glenn's voice wants to come out again at times.
I'll be honest, I've worked an office job now for 17, 18 years, and I haven't enjoyed it for most of that time. So there's very little that I get to do in the bowling alley that I dislike. I enjoy dealing with customers. I enjoy sweeping the floors. I enjoy fixing the lanes. I do all our bookkeeping. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
If there's anything I don't like, it's dealing with kind of, some of the bankers and financial people who are a little bit difficult to get along with. Other than that, everything in the lanes itself, 100% on board. That might get a little old after a few years, but 6 months in, definitely not an issue
Yeah.
yet.
I remember when I had to take a pair of tongs and take out some dirty underwear out of the back of the toilet tank, and I was like, man, you do not pay me enough for this.
I was now that you say that, Tim, I was plunging the women's bathroom 12:45 one day in the fall, and yeah, there was some creative language at that moment in time.
There.
Yeah. Okay. At least we're on the same page.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. We will let you get to bed, hopefully. I'm sure it's late out there. And we look forward to seeing you all soon at something, hopefully.
All right. Thanks so much,
Cheers,
guys.
thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We will bring in, I was not fast enough that time. We have the Orn family. Hello, Orn.
Hello.
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 Hey, guys.
How's it
Hey, we can
going?
hear- Perfect.
Not bad, you guys?
Good, good, good.
Good. Okay, my first question is if your family was playing the Regina Trios, what would your lineup be?
Linda, me, Derek.
Strong, confident answer.
Quick
I love
answer.
it.
Didn't we play it together one year before it was match play?
No, we did
We did a consolation together.
Mm.
no, but Derek and I did a doubles, like the 4-player with.
That's the Bakers. That was with two guys from Saskatchewan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Depends on the year to your question, Tyler. If it was right now, then I would go with him. If it was 10 years ago, I'd put him at the bottom.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well,
I was
you-
being nice.
What was I?
I love this dynamic. Obviously, you're all very successful in your own rights. Let's maybe start with Willie and Linda, competing a few years ago, like with the CBCs and TSNs and the Opens. Linda, part of that dynasty of Manitoba ladies, and Willie being really successful on your own. Did you find that you guys pushed each other? Was there a good dynamic? Did you kind of keep to yourselves?
Willie was my coach. So I started with a $1.95 average, back in the day. So I married my coach. I learned a lot from him to get where I am today. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Derek looked really uncomfortable with that.
Not used to seeing emotion out of those two.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, sorry.
No,
Back-
go ahead, Linda.
Back in the day, when Willie was averaging, who knows, 250 plus or whatever, and I'm sitting in the stands watching him, known as Willie's wife, and I says, no, I can't take this anymore. I want to be out there. So I pursued it and I made it. Never looked back.
That's such a good motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I took that title.
So when you said you were averaging 195, how old were you when you were averaging 195 before Willie's help?
That was in my YBC.
Okay.
You aren't that high in YBC.
Yeah. Once I left YBC, I got up to 195 in regular league.
Right.
Awesome.
And I joined Masters teaching and made Willie play with me for years.
That's awesome. So I mean, that's just proof that you could start taking it seriously whenever you'd like to, really, and as long as you put the work in and you get some good instruction, you can pretty much do whatever you want in this game.
Totally. It's because of the passion of bowling. That's a motivation in itself.
Absolutely.
I have a question, Willie. Did when Derek was growing up through YBC and all that stuff, did he take on your approach to the game, or did he take on Linda's?
Did you hear that?
What was that?
Did Derek take your approach or mine?
Probably more of Linda's than mine.
You think?
I don't think Linda throws the ball quite as hard, but it might be close.
The temper he might have got from me. So
That's better.
That's what I was looking for. Where did the temper come from?
I always thought Derek had, like, because we're both left-handed, he took that and then took Willie's style, right?
Right.
Derek?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I would say so. It's 3 tiny steps, and then you just whip the ball. So
It helps when your arm reaches halfway down the lane.
yeah,
So maybe if we flip the script, Derek, you've had a lot of success in the last few years. How has that felt, and how has it been now that you've kind of moved away from your family? And like, what's the support network been like having mom and dad in a different province?
it is definitely different per se. Now you have a good tournament, a good weekend, whatever. Instead of going to them, coming home, talking to them, going out for lunch, whatever, it's now a phone call. But I mean, it doesn't change so much in the aspect in the way that they're still behind you as much as they always would be. They'll always be the first supporters. Nothing really can change there. They're always the ones that will know the success when it happens. And, well, the failures, now I just don't have to tell them. Now, if I just don't make a tournament, I just tell them I wasn't there.
How good did it feel to be able to talk to them and tell them about your win in Red Deer?
It was a loss for words, because it was not something really to be expected that we thought would come, because now even in his career, that's something I hold over him now. And no, I came home waiting to be anything of the third degree, and surprisingly or not, I came home to just simply congratulations, which was honestly, that pushed me back, because I was just so ready for the third degree, the jokes, the burns, the everybody didn't try against you comments.
That's
Nothing.
why this has been such a loving series. Right here.
So to come home and the congratulations alone, that to me almost meant as much as just winning the event itself.
ask him how he compares with me in Regina.
Oh boy, here we go. I only have a half hour.
You asked for it.
Hang on, I'll go hold my winning trophy.
I hold that over him.
For sure.
And I hold gold medals over you.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel like this podcast might be used for evidence at some point in life,
That's good. From like Linda and Willie, how have you guys dealt with Derek, kind of moving away, and the fact he has to represent BC this year at Masters and Open, and he's not going to be wearing a yellow jersey? What's that been like for you?
It's kind of funny seeing him like in Regina. We were looking at when you guys had decided on the A side, B side, and we're looking down the list. I says, because we had such a good representation from Manitoba. And then we were looking at Derek bowling against Ryan O'Callaghan. And I says, okay, no Manitoba has to bowl against each other. And then I said, yes, they do. I says, Derek has to. Because me in my heart, like, he's still from Manitoba, right?
Yeah,
For sure.
But
It was very weird to see Langley, BC by his name.
Yeah.
That was strange.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
Derek, you're bowling in Zone 3, right?
Correct.
So you're still going to be wearing black and yellow?
Yes. I actually have my shirt. It's just straight black, and the wording is in yellow. That's it.
That's got to be kind of nice, too, though. And that kind of makes you feel a little bit at home.
Yeah, it's not much of a change. It's
Yeah.
almost like I could have brought my own shirts.
Yeah.
Are you all planning on competing? I think, Derek, you guys have already done your open zones Winnipeg's is coming up here. Are you all planning on playing?
Oh, I am.
Yep.
I am, and we don't have the zones. We
Right.
go straight to provincials. Yeah,
Right.
and that's in Easter weekend.
Oh, okay.
There's another hour conversation
What?
about Manitoba provincials.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
we need the people.
Yeah.
Yes, any Manitobans listening right now, bowl the Open. It's amazing.
Mhm.
It's, the Nationals is...
Everybody against O'Callaghan.
There you go.
Yeah, make him come in 10th.
As long as you don't touch the pole on the other side of the line, I think you got a chance. Amazing.
Sorry. So Linda and Willie, like a little bit of your guys' history, CBCs, TSNs. Can you let us know like how many times you're on each show? That's obviously something that most of us will never get a chance at. Derek obviously won't get a chance at that either. We always like to highlight the history of the CBCs and the TSNs. So
Well, CBC kind of spoiled me because I was lucky enough to qualify 6 times. So TSN I was at once, but CBC offered so much more money, it kind of spoiled me. I really didn't go into TSN. But CBC was amazing 6 times to be there. That's
Yeah, it's incredible.
very proud of that.
yeah, there's still some highlighted videos out on YouTube that you can watch the match between you and Gino, or there's quite a few of them. So it's pretty.
Yeah, I
neat to
hold
see.
that over Gino too.
Oh yeah. He did spare aces against you though. I think that's the only
He
highlight
did.
of his match.
Is the highlight of the match.
Do you have like a standout moment of your CBCs? Obviously 6 times is quite a few. Is there one moment that you kind of recall more than others?
Um,
Winning.
the one that I was one. I don't know, maybe the 4th time I was on. I was bowling a gentleman from Saskatchewan who had been out of bowling for 10 years and had just gotten back into bowling and amazingly qualified for CBC. And he was up against me, and I kind of threw like a 386 against him. And I felt
66.
sorry for him a little bit. Like, welcome to the bowling. Don't take 10 more years off. But it was fun. It was, the more I got there, the more I went there, the more I would talk to the rookies that came every year that I was there and just try and explain it to them a little bit. Have some fun. You may never do this again. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they're giving you quite a bit of money just to show up. So have fun, enjoy it. Don't worry about the cameras.
Yeah.
I think after this second time I was there, I never saw a camera. They were just invisible.
That's awesome. Is there we're kind of running on the end of our time here. Is there any kind of parting message that you want to plug? Something about Manitoba? Derek, anything about BC or anything about events coming up?
Other than the Open.
I'm out of bowling, so I don't. I've been.
Are you going to
out for a
return
while.
to coaching? Are we going to see the Linda Willie dynamic again?
No.
Fair.
Weird.
I am retired from bowling.
Understandable.
I'll keep trying.
For sure. Till they tell you can't anymore, you might as well keep playing and keep making those teams, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Derek, anything out in BC happening?
Not so much. Provincials at the end of the month, then we have our Masters wind up the week after.
Busy season of bowling.
Yeah, they do it back to back here. It's actually going to be my first traditional Open Provincials, and it won't be for Manitoba. Because I only played, because when I finally aged in, we weren't able to play the Open when I finally aged in. So I never even played a traditional provincial. My first Open Provincial was last year, and that's just 18 game scratch. Hey, you're going to nationals.
Right.
Now this year, it's actually the whole 4-day event, the step ladders, etc.
For sure. Well, definitely cherish it and, make as many memories as you can, because it's a fun time. At least in Alberta. I don't know. BC might be different.
Oh, we just have the
I'm
step
sure-
ladder. That's the difference.
I'm sure it's still fun.
And a shout out to all the girls that I've made teams with, like Sandy Anderson, Chris Monchuk, Karen Armstrong, Carrie Thieber, like all those. Like I've learned so much from them as well, and to thank them. And we're all still connected.
Amazing. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. We're going to let you go here. And hopefully, Linda, we hope to see you at the Open. And Derek, we'll see you at Green and Gold, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Mm.
Amazing. And Willie, it's great to have you on, even if you're retired from bowling.
Thank you. Good to
All
be.
Have a great night, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Wow, that was a great transition, Ty. Even if Len is in it, like.
No, zoom back in.
Well, let's cut him up.
So if anybody doesn't recognize this family, it's the Ansets. All the way from the big old town of... Would you like to introduce? Well, I know what it is.
Go ahead, Len.
Say it
Nice.
with pride. Amazing.
Well, going off of the guest you just had, another Manitoban from Winnipeg, Doug Wood, used to call Tracy and I the king and queen of cut knife. So he had a good sense of humor, yeah.
Yeah, calling you a king. You have to have a sense of humor to call you a king.
How do you feel about this comment there, Len? We have the best bowler in cut knife and Len Anseth.
It's probably pretty accurate. I've got no problem being overshadowed by the women here. Tracy. All my career, I was pretty much known as Tracy's husband, so I'm okay with that.
I love it. We had Willie's wife and Tracy's husband on the podcast tonight.
There you go.
Amazing. Boys, do you have any questions for them before I pull up my list of?
It just seems weird. Len's not hiding in the basement right now.
I had to get this set up in the kitchen. Just we have some more light and not the airplane fans going off.
I was gonna say it's so quiet.
It's just awesome. Cats now are gonna join us.
So if we're gonna talk about this, Trace, well, when are we gonna get you to come back?
I don't know.
There has to be a resurgence eventually.
Coming up.
Yeah. This teaching gig really takes up a lot of time. And now we're grandparents, so we've got 2 grand girls, and yeah, I like to support the people around me, and then we'll see.
It must be a goal at one point to play with Akira on some sort of team, though.
Yeah, it's definitely in the back of my head. Yeah.
I hear Masters really kind of works around the teaching schedule too. So,
except I think we'll be seniors now, so can't really play with Akira yet.
Oh, I'm sure you could still compete for the tournament side.
Yeah.
You might have to fight Akira for singles, though. That'll be the challenge there.
Yeah, square up.
Yeah, I think when Akira's of age to probably play the Masters, she's probably going to be having more than one battle of show with Josie. I think that'll be the one that'll be probably pressing her. And there's other girls coming up out of YBC that are look like they're going to be future stars. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
So good. Yeah,
you need to have those people to push you, right? So that's great. That's perfect. Exactly what you're looking for.
I have a question directly for Akira. How do you feel on Sundays watching your father literally implode in front of your eyes?
I think you know the answer to that.
I seen her pacing more than Len, and that was saying something.
Oh, it's hard to watch most of the time. Almost all the time.
It's harder to watch. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Every time that we see you, though, we can tell more and more that you are his daughter. You walk
100% true.
The shit that comes out of your mouth, it just I love it. Makes me laugh.
So let's flip it. Tracy and Len, how is it feeling to watch Akira now bowl Sundays and kind of go through the same struggles and the same highs that the two of you went through?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I find it a lot more like I'm more engaged when she's playing. I'm more excited to watch, and I'm just, like I said, you're just more emotionally involved. Yeah, it's enjoyable to watch her, and it's, you realize that she's gonna make like the same mistakes that everybody makes, and you always want to try and remove all those little obstacles, but you just can't. You just know that there's some things you just have to experience to appreciate, type of thing. So you sit back and watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she knows we're there to support her, and I think I throw every ball too, and I try not to let it show too much, but it's just,
it doesn't always work, Tracy.
Fun to see her be part of that group, and to see the adults just welcome her and kid around with her, and it's a different world out there than when we were young.
Yeah, that was going to be kind of my follow-up question is like, do you feel that the adult community in the tour specifically has literally adopted Akira and watched her grow up and compete and make cuts, make consolation events? Like, it seems like a lot of the players are behind her too, even though she's literally kicking our ass out on the lane too. It's cool to see.
Yeah, no, it was right from the get-go when she started. It was really I don't know, it's hard to explain. It was just nice to see that nobody really let on or made it out like that she didn't belong. It was kind of like, okay, well, you're just another bowler and bowling, and yeah, that really helped. And then now it's, you see her really developing relationships with other bowlers and whatnot. But yeah, that's one thing I can say about the bowling community. It was really good for accepting and just kind of like, you're just another competitor, and which is really what you want,
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, how old are you now, Akira?
15.
15. So it's been like about 3 years that you've been kind of hanging around us,
Yeah,
somewhere around there. And like I remember the first year in Regina, you showed up and you sat with us and you hung out with us, but you didn't say much. And then that really changed. You've really opened up. It's been great.
That's quite the direction we're headed with her. Yes.
It's been great having her, and and seeing the growth, both like personality wise around everybody and in her game. It's been awesome. Yeah, really cool.
So Akira, obviously, not only are you a successful bowler, but you are a successful volleyball player and golf.
Well,
And-
that's kind of just recreational.
More recreational. Is there anything else that you play or compete in?
Those are the main two, I'd say. Yeah.
How do you?
She's pretty mean at the table tennis.
Interesting.
She's kind of vicious with me,
Wow.
but we have some fun with that too.
Nice. Do you find that is there a lot of translation between the two sports? Like, do you use anything from bowling for volleyball? Is there anything from volleyball that you draw into your bowling?
Yeah, I mean, they're both different, obviously physically, but mentally you have to take out like the two opponents. Yeah.
Do you find that you enjoy the single side of bowling more because you get the team event in volleyball?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Do you obviously through YBC you're doing some team stuff? Are you looking forward to future opens, future stuff to get that team atmosphere more so in bowling, or are you you're okay with it just being mostly volleyball and then individually competing in bowling?
Yeah, like I've only really bowled on one team for bowling, and I struggle with that, so I like to try and get better as being a teammate and stuff. But I do enjoy singles a lot.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, it's tough for you because YBC's really transitioned into a doubles or a singles event, right?
Yeah.
Or you challenge might be the only thing you might be able to play as on a team. Yeah.
But even like when you're in a small town, like even though it's YBC's transition to a doubles, there's not another girl for her to play with. So if she doesn't make it a singles, that's the end of it.
So maybe that's a question. How is it like playing in a small town when I guess you're so used to traveling elsewhere for competition as well, right? Not saying that your program is not good, because I know Tracy, you've done a great job out there, but I mean, just in general, finding the competition
Wow,
elsewhere.
are we talking to the Orns right now? Like, roasting.
Yeah. You guys have to go elsewhere. And I know you guys travel. You've traveled all the way to Stettler or to Vegreville or our center. Is that something you guys have to do in order to maintain that competition, I guess?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because, like we don't have any competitive leagues out here, so it's hard to stay in that competitive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find those little tournaments too.
Well, and the WCBT is pretty much what they focus on now. So that gives her a really good taste of competition. And then we just play the few events for the YBC that she can play. But with volleyball, that's a pretty full schedule with everything.
Yeah, last year you went to Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, it was one of the best experiences ever.
Nice. How did your team do there?
We got bronze, so pretty good.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Did you find that, in the last 3 years you have traveled quite a bit for bowling? Like Tim said, even out to our center for like little small events or Stettler and those things, but you've done a lot of travel with your dad. Did you find that side of it has really brought you guys closer together?
Yeah, like making a vacation out of tournaments for sure.
You guys did last year back from club tour. Did you not go to like an amusement park and stuff like that down? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got to take in a few Blue Jays games before and whatnot. So yeah, we kind of made bowling an afterthought type of thing. If we did it, if you happen to do well, that was just a bonus type of thing. But, yeah,
it's the way to do it. I was going to mention this too, but this is a great point from Cindy too. Don't forget that she's an amazing artist as well. She's a big sports lover as a whole, and she's done a lot of like Blue Jays stuff and things like that too. So sports is just a big part of your life, eh?
Yeah.
You have a Facebook page for your art, do you not?
I do, yeah. It's Art by Akira.
Are you okay if we share the link in our comment section?
Yeah, for sure. It'd be awesome.
When are you going to transition and start drawing bowlers?
That will you start with your dad?
Yeah, please.
Well, I'm already built like a pin, so.
I was thinking Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
awesome. I can see him being that,
Oh, man.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Her page is posted in the chat, so if you want to go support her.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you sell your art? Do you sell prints of it? Yeah.
I sell prints and originals, and they're all like, the prices are listed on the channel.
Amazing. From my understanding, your sister's also quite a big artist.
Yeah.
Do you guys bond over that?
Yeah, like I'm living with her now, so like in the evenings we'll paint together and stuff. So.
Nice, that's awesome. Kind of going back to that like small town, Tracy and Len as maybe the parents of the situation, even though we know Len's a big old kid at heart. Do you have any strategies for other people who may be traveling from small towns or smaller provinces? How do you make those trips work?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'd say that it has to be a priority, I guess, if you want to invest the money into those weekends away. Practicing locally, just having the key to the bowling alley, you get, opportunities to throw whenever you want. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of little tournaments out there that you can branch out and go and, get to. So.
Yeah, I just think any competition is good competition. You can practice all you want, but it just throwing meaningful balls means something. So that's why if we have to travel 2.5, 3 hours to find a tournament, it doesn't matter if it's a $50 buy-in or $200 buy-in. It's, competition is competition.
For sure.
Yeah.
So totally. So you would say like, treating even those smaller events as important scenarios is kind of the biggest part, just
Yeah.
because you don't have that constant competition.
Absolutely. And getting ready for a tournament, whether it's a small one, it's kind of like a pre-shot routine. Just get ready for a tournament, whether it's a small event, whether it's a big event, it should really be the same process type of thing. So every event you play, you get another chance to kind of practice your routine to see if it's
Yeah.
working for you or not type of thing.
Totally.
Do you guys have like a similar routine for like the mornings of a tournament, or have you found that like you've sort of generated the same sort of pre-shot routine? I'm sure Akira has probably a more in-depth pre-shot routine than you do, Len. That she has a little bit more time to work through that than you do, but yeah.
I don't know. For myself, it's just a matter of I've always had a hard time. Like, I wouldn't call it anxiety, but if I'm in a tournament, I have a hard time sleeping, type of thing. And so just getting used to being able to actually get a good night's sleep, or knowing when to try and go to bed so you're not just tossing and turning. Yeah, that's kind of thing. And I think, I don't know, but I can't speak for Akira, but like, we all have different quirks or worries that we have to go about. So yeah.
Yeah, and to take care of the nutrition part, and always, get up and make sure you get something so that you're ready, and then just continually fuel your body as you're playing.
It's interesting you talk about getting that good night's sleep and stuff for tournaments and whatnot, and because I really feel like in the last decade it's shifted quite a bit, especially on the WCBT side of stuff. As much as like those competitions are about being competitive and wanting to win those events, it was also equally about seeing people having a great time, probably drinking a little bit too much, and you kind of see all those things kind of like deviate, or they have a plan in place. Like if I'm going to be having a fun night, it's probably going to be the Friday night, especially if I've qualified. I'm not going to have anything to drink at all on Saturday. I'm going to go to bed early Saturday, try to get some good sleep before the Sunday. Whereas I remember the days where like people were just out until 3 or 4 in the morning, get up and go straight to the lanes, and away they go. So things have sure changed, eh, Lenny?
Well, the nice thing was back then when you used to do that, everybody did it. So
Exactly.
You were a lot younger too.
you weren't really at a disadvantage, because you were just sitting back going, I know this guy's suffering just as much as I am.
Yeah.
And now people take it a little more serious, and and I nothing wrong with that. Like, it's
So Tracy, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Lex.
good. After you. Yep.
I was going to say, Tracy, I may or may not have been watching a TSN the other day of you. Can you run us through that? How was your TSN experiences?
It's so funny you mentioned that, because we had a day, not I think this week, where the buses didn't run. So I only had a couple kids in my class, and I mentioned that Len and Akira were in Regina bowling. And then one kid says, well, did you bowl? I said, well, let's see what I can find. So I found it. It was funny. It's like everything's kind of, my memory's like a blur. But I do remember kind of the shock and the excitement at the same time of the lights. Remember how bright the lights were and how shiny the lanes were. But I also remember how, welcoming the crew were and the announcers. And I just, tried to stay as positive as I could. And I had some success, and then I had some moments where it wasn't so great, but overall it was, it's a piece of history, and it's so I'm just so proud to be a part of it. It was great.
On the other side of that, your oldest is now involved with the tour as they handle our production for the tour finals. What does it mean to you guys to see your oldest kind of take their passion with their partner and implement it into bowling in a totally different way?
Yeah, no, Aaliyah and Taryn are, they're pretty amazing at what they do. And I know they've done, they do dance competitions. He's done hockey pictures, all kinds of sports. But, it's definitely a lot. It's a special feeling when you see them out on the lanes there, and thinking, well, you guys, and Aaliyah bowled too. So she was part of the sport. And now we've got Taven playing YBC, and she's 5. So, it's just kind of neat to see. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, that definitely drew us to obviously Aaliyah because she understood the sport, being involved with it, and giving them the reins on it to build out the scorecards and stuff like that. Like they did amazing, and it really kind of sucked the one year we had COVID and we were worried about having them coming from other provinces and stuff like that. So we switched out, but as soon as we got the chance to bring them back, we 100% with them, and we can't wait for them to continue that production level.
Yeah, and Taryn just ran with all of the, the scoreboards and everything else he could incorporate. They're really creative, and they do a great job.
Yeah, Taryn got really into it.
That's awesome. All right. Well, our final guests are here. So is there any kind of last comments or anything you guys want to share before we let you go for the evening?
You want to go first?
No, I've got nothing to share, man.
Nope.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for the invite.
Amazing.
Always
Well,
great having you guys on.
We hope to see you all soon. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. Have a great evening. Welcome, the Wiltons, our local ginger friends. I don't know how to finish that sentence. I was like, Kelsey might punch me if I'm not careful here.
Only once, it's fine.
Perfect. And we have Reed. Reed, how was your gymnastics class?
Good.
Good. Did you do backflip? Okay, maybe next
What
time.
did you do? Handstands?
We did a handstand on the wall for 1 minute or 2 minutes.
That's impressive. I don't think I could do that.
So today wasn't powerlifting day.
No.
Okay.
I can guarantee you Carrie can't do that. He'd like break a hip or something.
Yeah, I'd probably break a hip, but I know I can outlift maybe a couple people on this.
So as our family here with the very little children, maybe kind of just fill us in, since you're in that life right now, how have your competitive attitudes changed since you've had kids?
Has yours changed? No, I'm just kidding.
I'll tell you, it's a constant struggle of who gets to play and who doesn't get to play. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Someone is the sacrificial lamb, and the other one, we haven't decided what the other one is yet.
Yeah.
The other one gets the ball. It's busy for sure. It's hard sometimes juggling it all and figuring it out, but especially as he gets older and he's in more stuff. When he was younger, it was a lot easier. But we're working on it. We're figuring it out. I think for mine is definitely not as competitive because I'm not bowling as much as I probably would like, but that's okay.
But you guys, your jobs, your lifestyle already was already fairly busy, and then obviously adding children to the mix, and then trying to stay competitive. That it's definitely a big balancing act. And like you said, there's got to be some give and take, I'm sure, between the two of you with family activities and jobs. We all know, Kelsey, you're on shift work and stuff like that, so that's got to be a challenge in itself, right?
Yeah, shift work this year, it just seems like every weekend I'm working. So that kind of sucks for the cash tournament. But
It's fine.
but so that makes it a bit tricky for sure. And it just is the way my rotation is, unfortunately. So that makes a bit of a struggle. So I try to do swaps and everything. You try to make it work, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's just not worth it. Sometimes you just have to say no.
Yeah, this has been a rough year for you competitively, really. You haven't had much of an opportunity to play in anything, right?
No. And like I said, it's like every tournament, like the cash tournament, Masters, I think there's only one, like I was able to do Winnipeg and the Autumn because I was off. That was it. So the rest of them I'm working every weekend, which kind of sucks. But what do you do?
Diamond Ladies as well?
That I'm working that weekend. So I have the Friday off, but if I make it, then that's a different story.
Well,
hopefully none of my coworkers are worked on here. I'm just kidding.
My suggestion is Brad is having a fantastic year. He's making every first cut. Just get him a dress and he can do it for you.
Yeah. We already asked Stacy that. I'm just saying.
Time to start growing out your hair, Brad.
Yeah, I think so. Get that mullet going again.
No.
Please don't.
No, you were the best
No,
looking one on
no.
tour, yeah.
Yeah.
No mullet.
No.
Reed agrees.
Yeah, the tour at first was easy when we just had Reed, and then when we got Peyton, it was a lot harder. We just played opposite shifts, and then hopefully if we both made Sunday, then we always had someone at the lanes because we're all a big family. It was like easy to have someone, hey, can you help us watch the kids while we, play Sunday? But now with his busy schedule, it's hard, and with her work schedule and trying to make tournaments work, it gets harder and harder. But we're still trying to stay competitive. That's why we joined Pro League, because Stacy and the family there, we could put the kids on the other side of the bowling alley and they just throw 5-6 games while we play Pro League, right? So
Yeah.
For sure. Kelsey, I hope you studied. I sent you the questions.
Oh yeah.
So
I kinda
maybe
love
this maybe this one's a little bit more for you, but what does it mean to you now to have a daughter who's watching you play these events against the men, just as competitive as the men, with an attitude just as fiery as the men? What are you kind of looking forward to, like Peyton's experience? Are you planning on having her bowl?
She is in bowling.
she already bowls.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
threw-
bowls. She
she
throws
threw-
pretty good
She
too,
threw a
actually.
53 the other day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
For what?
she's
How
a
old is she?
fiery one, that one. She is her mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually I think it's pretty cool to have her watch mom and see, even in like the gym, when I'm at the gym, she does exactly what I do, and she watches Reed does exactly what he does in gymnastics, and like it is pretty fun to see her watch me compete still at a level. I hope she will not be intimidated by men, that's for sure, especially when you're competing. And I hope that can you stop that? I hope that she
I almost
will,
encourage it.
have that competitive edge no matter what, and not back down type thing, which currently she is not afraid to do anything. So hopefully she keeps that attitude. Hey, what would you say? Out of the
Yeah.
two, she's the feistier one.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
She refuses to stand at the line
Yeah.
and roll the ball. She'd rather just grab it and run and throw it. But it stays on the lane better, and I don't have to
Yeah.
throw a ball down the gutter to clean the gutters. So
Yeah, she's pretty. It's pretty fun to have her, and I'm being a good role model for her, so that she knows that it's okay to try things, not to stop competitiveness, and to have that drive. So hopefully, she has it.
Reed, do you like watching mom and dad bowl?
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite bowler to watch?
Not fair question.
who's your favorite to watch?
Who's your favorite
Wow.
to watch?
Both.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, look.
attaboy.
Cynics
That's
are
a
lit
good
over there.
answer. Very good answer.
That just earned you ice cream.
Oh no.
You don't say that word at the house, Dexter.
So you talked about bowling, obviously being a big old family. What has that meant for you, and like how, other than just watching the kids on Sunday, like how has that helped you guys?
I think whenever we go to the bowling alley, I think it's kind of fun because everyone kind of knows you have kids, and they always naturally watch out for them. Just like we did before we had kids, we always watched out for the little ones. And I think I don't know, I think it's fun and nice to have everybody watch out for your kids, but also let us know if our kids are being little turkeys, it happens. But I think it's good to have kids involved, right? They're the next generation. So
Yep.
I think people also have to be mindful and
No,
okay, yeah, ha ha. I think they have to be mindful and aware that there are kids, and that kids are kids. They will have their moments just like we have our moments, but no one can tell us to stop when we're pouting. Do you know what I mean? So we just have to be mindful that kids are kids, and they're allowed to have their moments. And we try to, there's only been a few instances where it's been too quiet and the kids have had a bit of, they're being too loud, and we remove them fast. But I mean, we always have to be, everyone has, I hope, is mindful that when kids are in the house and at the lanes, that take it with a grain of salt type thing, and don't blame the children. It's not the children, right? Like,
yeah, we want this sport to grow with these.
Yeah.
Youth. That's why we gotta keep them coming out, right? We want more and more to keep the sport going.
Reed's already asking when he can bowl, so
Yeah, he wants to know when he can play these tournaments.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I said when you're older.
So you kind of touched on a point there about like having the sport grow. What this is going to be like a super formal question, but like what direction do you want to see kind of the youth programs head in the next like 5-10 years as your kids grow up in them? Do you want to see them go in anyway?
Yeah, it's tough because we're just getting into the YBC program, right? He's only in his second year bowling, and Peyton's in her first, so we don't know where where the 4 steps and all that stuff is because they're so young. Like he just played his second year of the Pee Wee, and that when we walked in that tournament, they had 2 shifts. Like there were so many kids, so I'm like, well, the sport's here, the numbers are here, so hopefully the sport keeps building and building. But as it goes for anything else, like we haven't seen what YBC does because we're growing up in the WCBT and we're playing the 5-pin U, and it's I haven't been watching what's going on in YBC. Yeah, you'll see names here and there, like but they're kids that we know from their parents that we bowl with. All the other kids, it's like, okay, what happened to 4 steps? Why is it only 2-player, 3-player? I don't know what goes on anymore. I haven't been paying attention, so
I kind of hope it goes back to the original, not original, but like when I grew up in YBC, you had your singles, your 5-player team, or 4-player, whatever. But I kind of like that style a little better then, and hopefully it changes back to that and have more tournaments available for the kids too, or at least have the opportunities to have more available. I know we've come a long way, but I hope that if we want to see these kids succeed and to keep going, maybe having more opportunities too for like the teenagers to join in tournaments, which I know lots have, but and I know it's a bit expensive for some, but maybe draws for sponsorship or whatever to see a YBC bowler, a new one, join the tournament or whatever, but just hopes it keeps going in the right direction, which it is. Then I think we'll be okay.
I think that's kind of obviously everybody's hoping. Everybody says like participation always goes in waves, right? Bowling was in its height in the late 70s, early 80s, and then it kind of dipped down. I feel it's on its way back. Maybe not the YBC or the youth programs, not so much, but let's us hope the wave is coming back. Competitiveness and the professional side is definitely growing. So hopefully that brings the influx of the youth back into it in some way or form, right?
Well, it's interesting you say that because we talk about the Pro League, right? Like there's a team at Toppler that named their YBC team after the Calgary Carnage. So, we bought them towels and we're like, hey guys, like here we are. And hopefully that all the Pro League teams and their centers can go out and talk to the youth and kind of be the role model, say, hey, we're out here. Why don't you guys come watch us play? Or you guys want to have a practice with us? Anything we can do to keep these guys coming up, right? Because they don't know about the WCBT. Some of these centers don't hear about that stuff, right? But now we've got these pro leagues and centers. I haven't even heard of half of them. So it's great.
It's amazing how much the kids actually pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, especially when it's all live streamed. Everything's YouTube now, right? So.
Yep.
Question from Derek Home. Brad,
Yes.
were you one of the oldest bowlers left?
Yes.
Yeah, how's that make you feel?
Yes. Yeah, looking around at 39 thinking, uh-oh, I might be getting up there. It's happening.
It has happened.
It's happening to Tim and Dex right now. Unfortunately, some of you have already passed the...
Yeah.
Hey, excuse me.
Shoot this, Gary.
You know what?
Settle
I'll
down.
take that right now. That's good. That's good.
No, it's good to see. I mean, I did feel old for sure. And I was like, but it's good to see. I want to see more and more come up and, make these entries. Like that 300 number is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've played these tournaments for 21 years now, basically, and they just keep going up and the cuts are getting harder and harder, but the caliber of player just keeps getting better and better. It's good to see. We're all competitive, so that's what I like.
And we have certainly seen a huge influx of young people playing in them, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really nice to see, actually.
Yeah, there were some names in that bracket I didn't even know. So And that was rare for me because I keep an eye on a lot of these players that are coming up. So
You have, for as long as I've known you, you've kept track of
Yeah.
people, that's for sure.
yeah, I said as soon as Bradley comes up, there's one master spot gone. Oh yeah, here comes Tyler. There's another master spot gone. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work corner. I'm just kidding.
It's that age thing again, Kelsey.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's all the questions that I actually wrote out for them. Boys, I need help.
I picked on Brad enough. I think we need to move the questions to Kelsey.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I do have a question. So the Carnage, this is strictly a Carnage question. The Carnage are kind of in the same situation that maybe the Dream Crushers are looking at. We're kind of middle of the pack, best of the rest, as we may say. How do you guys feel about the league in its current state and about possible relegation and bringing new teams into the league? Do you feel that the status quo is something that we should look at, or we should continue developing the league? Because we all know teams are going to have bad years, and then all of a sudden they fall into a relegation. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you can are you saying like expand the league with more teams per se, like two per division, or roll people in and out? Like,
well, we've been kind of talking about, and Tim knows better than anybody the scheduling conflicts and stuff like that. That we might be moving to 26 teams just to even out the play schedule to
Like
4
two,
matches
two,
a
two.
week, and then you get at least 2 matches a week. You don't get the one-offs and stuff like that. So as for expansion, I think that'd be as far as we would ever expand the league, because it's ridiculous enough to manage now. I don't think we could ever go to like 32 teams or anything like that in its current state anyways. But I'm talking about like there's 7 teams that are looking to try and get into the league. Like how many do we replace, or do we? The relegation tournament, I think, is the simplest form of that. But now you got to build literally a tournament just to have a relegation tournament. Like there's so much to go on. But
yeah, I don't know the full details on what you guys are thinking when it goes forward, but I do like the idea of expansion.
Mhm.
I do like the idea of playing more than 1 or 2. Sundays are hard for us because, like you said, this whole podcast about families, right? And he's got gymnastics for 3 hours Sunday afternoon, so we have to let our coach know, hey, the 12 o'clock match, you only get one of us, so either get us in quick, get us out so we can leave, or. But I prefer to play 3 matches. That would be better. We just, we sub out every week or whatever coach picks, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So now I want the inside info. How do you feel about the Carnage's season?
I think we played great. We just
Like
got
we've
dominated the
struggled a
first
little
couple
bit.
weeks. We've struggled for sure. But, I mean, the numbers are still there. We
Yeah.
still got matches. So
Yeah.
we're looking at it as we still got to make it top 5, right? So
Yeah.
we
top
still got to
5.
get in there.
Yeah.
So we're going to go out, play our last matches, and put the best numbers up and see what happens.
We're cut out for it for sure. But we ain't
Yeah.
giving up. The fat lady ain't
No.
singing yet. Mm-mm.
Perfect. That's my questions.
I have a comment. I mean, maybe not a question. I just want to say, Brad, of all people out there, I just want to commend you for how supportive you are of the family and everything they do. And I know it's a family podcast, right? So I just want to let you know about that. Just keep on doing all the good work, buddy.
Thanks, Tim. And I want to
My eyes
thank you.
really itchy, Tim.
I want to thank
I
you
know.
and all the guys that have supported me all over the years, all the tournaments we've gone to together, and you've always had my back, so I like that.
I feel so itchy right now. There's way too much positivity. Did you not listen to the Orange the Nonsense? It was just like, meh, 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 meh.
When I
this
see Tim
isn't-
next, he knows what he's getting.
This isn't positivity. This is Tim stirring the pot in the
Exactly.
background.
This has nothing to do with positivity.
Yeah, it's
You're such a brat, Tim. I'm gonna be nice because there's kids around. and I'm online.
Perfect.
It's
Keep doing
forever
that
on
way.
the internet.
Oh, you're lucky you're far away from me, Tim. Yeah, you laugh because you know everybody has money on me, Tim. Remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you will.
Awesome.
Oh, support.
You know,
Forever
We're getting-
Robin. He's
You won't even
forever
look at her.
Robin.
I can't.
all right, we're getting close to the end of our show. Do you guys have any questions for us? Anything you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think
I think it's going in the right direction. What you guys are doing is great. All these podcasts, and you guys do a lot. So thank you.
You know, the Glynn said at the start of the podcast, they decided when they purchased the bowling alley, we're busy right now, so why don't we just make ourselves busier? And I think, you know, Carrie certainly follows that mindset. And I think based on what you guys talked about with your family schedule, you may be in the same boat. So yeah, it's nice to see you guys still supporting our tournaments, even after having kids. I mean, you know, we know lots of people who just unfortunately weren't able to make that work after starting a family. So as much as we, you know, love them all and wish them the best, it's nice to see you guys really making the effort and making the sacrifices you have to make. So
We will forever try to make tournaments whenever we can. So at least one of us, if not both. But yeah. And maybe one day you'll be in there too, Reed.
Not for a long time, right?
Not for a while.
long time.
Yeah. Maybe 10 years.
how old are you now, Reed?
He'll be 7 in August.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe like, what do you think? 8 years? 9 years?
Yeah.
100.
Whoa. If you're still
we
bowling
won't
them
be
in
around.
100 years, well done.
Tyler will be.
Oh no, I'm 16. I'm taking a bucket. I can't look like. Wait, which way I'm going? I can't look like this guy over here. All right. With that, we'll let you guys go and enjoy your evening. It's probably bedtime for someone.
It is, yeah, me. Thanks.
Oh,
That's me too.
Amazing.
Is it your bedtime? You say bye.
All right, guys. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Reed.
Perfect. All right. Well done, team. I feel like I got better with transitions as we moved along tonight.
Great.
100%.
I'm still gonna blame the start on Carrie because obviously he starts the podcast, but
Nope. Not anymore.
you know.
Backseat driver.
Just wait to see how you finish this one off.
Well, I'm going to get to the right tab here because I'm not on the right tab. I'm going to say, nope. Yep, this one. Thanks to all our patrons, Patreon subscribers. Keep your eyes out as there may be some changes coming in the next little bit as we are trying to revamp and make it better for you. And then
Follow
other
through
than,
on our promises is what we're
yeah,
really
that's what we're looking for. As always, if you guys do have any recommendations, you can always shoot us messages or comment or, send inquiries. Carrie has a wonderful email, carrie@5pinuniverse.ca.
He's loving that. Yes.
Nailed it. He nailed it. Yeah.
.ca. Other than that, stay tuned for Pro League this coming week. A couple matches
Yep.
on
Week
each
number
division.
16.
Yes, it's getting close to the end. And
Fantasy
Diamond
draft
Ladies?
on Monday.
Oh yeah, fantasy draft on Monday. Some of us will be there, some of us will not.
Mhm.
And then get your registrations in for Diamond Ladies Classic. I don't know the dates because I didn't plan that far ahead, and I'm ruining my life.
420. It's 420.
It's
Ooh,
April,
fun.
yeah.
Wow.
Also, there's a special video coming out tomorrow at noon, so stay tuned for that.
Teasers.
It's a-
Teasers.
Yeah, a collaboration video with maybe another 5-pin YouTuber.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Chowdy, folks.
Thanks,
See you
everybody.
guys later.
Bye. Nailing
Oh.
it, Ty.
Come on,
No, I'm
Tyler,
not
you got it.
nailing it. Where's the
Come on,
outro
Tyler.
video?
Come on, Tyler. Do
it's
it,
a,
Tyler.
It's a 5-pin U commercial. You can do it.
Oh, that is not a good title.